Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a really thought-provoking idea. Riches do not corrupt men, but the fear of losing them does. We often hear that money is the root of all evil, that wealth inevitably leads to moral decay. But is that really the whole story? What if the money itself isn't the problem, but our relationship with it? Specifically, our fear of it disappearing. Let's unpack this. Think about it. When you first imagine having a lot of money, what comes to mind? For most of us, it's positive. Freedom, security, the ability to help family, travel, pursue passions. These are not corrupt desires. They're human desires for a better, more fulfilling life. The initial accumulation of wealth, whether through hard work, a brilliant idea, or even luck, doesn't automatically flip a switch in your brain that makes you a bad person. In fact, many people who become wealthy are initially driven by incredibly positive motivations. They want to build something, solve a problem, or create a better future for their loved ones. The wealth is a byproduct of that ambition. So, where does the corruption, the stereotype of the greedy, heartless rich person, come from? This is where the fear factor kicks in. Imagine you've worked your entire life to build a comfortable nest egg. You finally have a beautiful home, your kid's education is paid for, and you don't have to worry about the bills. You've reached the summit. But then, a new feeling starts to creep in. It's not the joy of success anymore. It's the anxiety of losing it all. You look down from that summit, and all you can see is how far you have to fall. This fear is a powerful, corrosive force. It's the fear of returning to a life of struggle and uncertainty. It whispers in your ear, what if the market crashes? What if a competitor ruins your business? What if you make one wrong move and it all vanishes? Suddenly, your mindset shifts from one of abundance and creation to one of scarcity and preservation. You're no longer playing to win, you're playing not to lose, and that changes everything. This fear-driven mindset is where the corruption begins to manifest. It's what can lead someone to cut corners on safety to save a few dollars because they're terrified of their profit margin shrinking. It's what makes a person hoard wealth far beyond what they could ever need, not out of greed for more, but out of a deep-seated terror of having less. They might become secretive, paranoid, and unwilling to trust others, seeing everyone as a potential threat to their fortune. Their relationships can suffer because every interaction is subconsciously filtered through the lens of what does this person want from me. Generosity can dry up. Why donate to a charity when that money could be a buffer against a future downturn? Why invest in a risky but potentially world-changing new venture when you can stick to safer, more predictable assets? The fear of loss stifles innovation, compassion, and connection. The person becomes a dragon guarding a pile of gold, not because they love the gold itself, but because they are petrified of the emptiness of the cave without it. This isn't just about billionaires either. This can happen to anyone who achieves a level of financial comfort they're afraid to lose. It could be someone who hesitates to leave a soul-crushing but high-paying job for a more fulfilling but less certain career. It could be a family that becomes overly materialistic, constantly trying to keep up with the Joneses, not for the joy of having nice things, but for the fear of being perceived as falling behind. The fear of losing social status, which is often tied to financial status, can be just as corrupting. But here's the hopeful part. It doesn't have to be this way. The antidote to the fear of loss is not getting rid of wealth. It's cultivating a different mindset. It's about finding your security in things that can't be taken away. Your skills, your knowledge, your relationships, your character, your resilience. It's about understanding that your true worth isn't measured by your bank account. If you lost all your money tomorrow, you would still be you. You would still have your mind, your ability to work, the love of your family and friends, and the lessons you've learned. This is what we call an abundance mindset. It's the belief that there are always more opportunities, more ideas, and more paths to success. It's the confidence in your own ability to adapt and rebuild if necessary. Someone with an abundance mindset can be generous because they don't see giving as losing something, but as circulating energy and creating more good in the world. They can take calculated risks because they're not defined by a single outcome. They see failure not as a catastrophic loss, but as a learning experience. So, how do we cultivate this? It starts with gratitude. Actively appreciating what you have right now, whether it's a little or a lot, shifts your focus from what you might lose to what you currently possess. It's also about diversification, not just in your investments, but in your life. Your identity shouldn't be 100% tied to your job or your wealth. Cultivate hobbies, deep friendships, and a strong sense of purpose outside of your financial success. This creates a safety net of self-worth that is independent of your net worth. Ultimately, money is a tool. It's an amplifier. It can amplify your generosity, your creativity, and your ability to make a positive impact. But if you allow fear to take the driver's seat, it will amplify your anxiety, your paranoia, and your selfishness. The riches themselves are neutral. They don't have a moral compass. You do. The real challenge isn't acquiring wealth, but managing the psychology that comes with it. It's about choosing to operate from a place of abundance and confidence, rather than scarcity and fear. It's about remembering that the greatest riches like integrity, love, and peace of mind are the ones that can never be lost. So, the next time you hear someone say that money corrupts, maybe offer a different perspective. It's not the money, it's the fear. And by conquering that fear, we can use our resources, whatever their size, for good. Thank you so much for watching and for thinking about these big ideas with me. If this resonated with you, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content like this. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Do you agree? Have you seen this play out in your own life or in the world around you? Let's continue the conversation down there. Until next time, stay curious.